Did you fix this last time?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
There's the wall. Is it still recording? Because that's amazing.
Spicy queso?
No, it's okay, thanks. I don't know why. I just got swallowed. I just swallowed that word. Why did that happen? I don't like queso.
You like queso?
No,
Most queso is amazing.
I gotta be, like, in the mood for it.
It's good.
I like cheese, but there's something about, like, that cheese. I don't
Queso?
know. Yeah, I don't really like queso. I think it's a flavor thing. I think it's a consistency thing.
A little thicker?
Yeah. Oh. Alright, thanks. Thanks for accepting me.
I mean, I'm the one eating the spicy queso, so.
It's cool. It's cool. Hi there. Welcome to the Be More podcast. I'm Brittany.
I'm Maria.
We are so happy that you guys are joining us, and we are so happy that we get to do this from our homes.
Yeah.
And that we don't have to be outside around people, and that we, have the wonder of the internet to help us connect to you. Because now,
are you alluding to the apocalypse, aka coronavirus?
Yeah, I'm just like, it's a very important time to like be able to do this. Like, we picked a good time to do this because we started it far enough, ahead of all of this that like we're well into it now to be able to just like keep doing it and like understand how to do it.
Yeah.
And like, have something to do.
Right. I like lost you in the middle of that, but then I came back.
Okay.
Wow.
I'll go back.
Thanks. Also, a few episodes back, do you remember? I don't remember which one. Maybe it was like our fear one. It keeps going back to that episode. I'm like, you want to talk about the coronavirus? And you're like, no. I don't know. I have no idea what the coronavirus is.
Yeah, that was not that long ago. Was that like a month ago?
Maybe.
And now look how things have developed. Oh wait, can I make you do this first?
Yeah.
Everybody hear that sound?
Is there like a marble in it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what do I do?
Get the marble out.
Get the marble out?
Yeah.
Does this like move? I'm confused.
Yep. You just have to figure out how to get it out.
I just don't understand.
So let me tell you the backstory.
What is this called? Do you know?
I have no idea. My brother gave this to me for Christmas.
The rocket scientist.
Yeah, the rocket scientist. And he gave it to me for Christmas, and I had put like money in it, and was like, if you can get it open, you can have it. And then was very upset that it literally took me 5 minutes to open it, and was like very surprised that I got it.
I'm gonna be so mad.
Just keep doing exactly what you're doing.
I know. I kind of figured it out, but not really.
There are also 2 drawers.
There are 2. I hope this is the whole episode.
40 minutes away, and I'll comment on it. Maria's
She's got commentary.
She's got both thumbs across the top of the box.
Wait, did you hear about March Madness? Are you a basketball fan?
No. I feel like we always come back to this around this time of year because you love basketball, and I remember sitting at your house when we were younger, and like you and your dad watching it, and me just being like,
So March Madness is the NCAA college tournament.
Right.
They canceled it.
I heard
the whole thing.
I didn't hear that. I thought you were gonna talk more things related to sports. I have no idea what you're talking about. I know no sports.
Just dance.
Yeah, I know dance, and I know a little bit about gymnastics and other forms of movement.
Was that supposed to happen?
What?
That? Did you see that?
Use it.
Use it?
Use it as an idea to let it. Okay, well, don't rip it all.
Okay, I don't want to rip it off.
But it's telling you something. That there's something comes out.
Like, yeah.
I know, it's maddening. I know.
You know, as like a type A
I know.
person,
You'll
this
get
is
it.
really...
You'll get it.
Really?
You were so good with Rubik's Cubes.
I know. You know, I have one in my cube.
I'm not surprised.
And I do it whenever I'm stressed
I
out.
always used to watch you just fidget with them.
I did. I was a dork in high school that just brought mine around.
Well,
you
just like
remember
you
that?
said, it was like the original fidget spinner. Like, it was like,
and
how can my brain focus on other than
my class?
Yeah.
I remember one kid.
Ridiculousness.
I really am getting so frustrated. I remember one kid. No, I won't get mad on camera.
I did not give it to you to get frustrated. I was like, ooh, puzzle.
I remember one kid, when I started bringing mine, he brought his, and he was so weird, he made his, spin, or, whatever, in a smoother way by, putting, fucking, I don't know, baby oil, or, type of thing. I'm like, why? I'm not trying to be in a competition right now.
Right, to make it go faster?
Yeah, I was like,
I just, out faster?
Yeah, I just want to bring it. Not fidget spinner, whatever.
The original.
The OG.
I mean, it did spin. No, you're getting there.
I can feel it move, but you know? I don't want to break this.
I feel bad that you're getting mad. No.
I'm not getting mad. I'm actually not getting that mad. This is literally taking me Like the whole episode.
It's fine. You're problem solving.
Yeah.
Problem solving. Do you want me to just keep talking? And
Absolutely.
Alright, because Maria's going to be fixated on that, and we'll see you in
how long.
minutes.
This is great.
It's not going to take you that long, but, I mean, who cares if
it took you 5 minutes?
Okay, well, we are very different in approaches.
Yeah, seriously. I'm very logical. You are very not. I'm in a mood today.
I am also very, like, I'm gonna maneuver this and do whatever I have. I'm like an act and then like think person. You're a very think and then act person.
Yeah. I like
especially when it comes to like this whole like especially problem solving. That's
I can't wait to like watch myself.
You're so like the mathematical, super logistical brain, and I'm so like the arts and sciences like aspect of it.
Do you want to? What am I gonna say? You know what our careers are.
This is very true. So, I mean, this kind of ties into what we were going to talk about. So, we wanted to talk a little bit about today, like tips and things from our, like, hobbies and our careers and how we can, like, play them into just giving people some, like, I don't know, advice on things or, like, letting you learn more about what we...
Yeah, I guess it's just, like, an advice, like, episode. Well,
yeah, solid. And we can wrap that all back into all of the advice. I mean, we don't have to harp on all of the advice that's going on about the CDC right now, because if I get one more email in my inbox from any random company that's telling me to wash my hands and what they're doing to try to keep people safe, like, I totally understand, and it's great that you're trying to take action to keep people safe, but, like, the CDC is sending out information for a reason. So unless you are directly having contact with people, like, I feel like it's just, like, hyping up this, like, the anxiety because every time they go in their inbox, they're seeing an email about it. And, like, and then it's kind of filtering out and, like, clouding the sea from, like, just getting information from people like the CDC who are giving you valid information about what's going on.
Do you know what she said?
I'm gonna lose you this whole episode. I'm not.
Why did you give me this in the beginning of the episode? Can you please?
Or do you want me to show you?
Just give me a hint.
Okay, so you're right on this one.
Yeah, that has to move.
So look at the way it's sticking out.
Okay.
So which way does it have to go?
I don't know. I'm confused.
Yes, it does. So look at how it's not flush, right?
Yeah.
Which means this comes which direction?
I would assume this way, but it's not.
So think, okay, so if it can't go this way, which way is it going to go?
I'm so confused.
Yeah,
that way.
Other way.
Oh, other way? What do you mean?
Up.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it's a drawer, right? I said you gotta think of it like you're opening a drawer.
I hate this. A drawer?
Gosh. See, look.
Shit.
It pulls out like a drawer. Look at the thingy.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so now wait, what do you notice though?
A lot of things? I don't know. Wait, hold on.
What do you hear still?
The marble's like in another whatever.
Right, it's okay, so look at the inside. Yeah. Which way is it facing?
Alright, Mom, shush.
I'm helping you problem solve through it, so you don't get more mad at me in the next 10 minutes. That's the hard one. That's the hard one. That door's annoying. Don't hurt yourself over it, my Lanta.
Oh, I'm so annoying. Keep talking to the people.
I'm really so immersed in watching you do this. I feel so bad. I'm sorry.
I can't wait to like.
It would be like a
I can't wait to like watch this and like when I'm editing this and be like, what an idiot.
No, it's not for that.
Wait,
God
is
damn
the wood? Is it?
Oh well, I might have expanded a little bit. There's a marble in there. You did it! Yay!
Oh my god.
Can I tell you about how I went and figured it out?
How?
Like, it's the total opposite of you.
What did you do?
Just proves about how totally opposite we are.
Yeah.
So you, like, examined it and were like,
Yeah, what did you do?
I literally was like this. I was like, okay, this part moves. Which way does this move? Oh, okay, if I can move it this way, this has to... I literally went like this and just was like, okay, got it. And my brother was like, what the F?
Okay.
But it's just different brain. Like,
no, yeah.
It's just different. So, like, if it was something that wasn't physical that I couldn't move, like a math situation,
yeah, you'd be like,
I would be like me doing Sudokus. I get real frustrated real fast.
Those.
I like them too, but I get really frustrated because there's only so much physical manipulation you can do with the numbers before it really has to come down to calculations, and I don't like that.
Yeah, that was fun.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. It's okay.
But that's so true because I like. And it depends. This totally talks about like your brain, right? If you're somebody who's gonna like really look at it and you're gonna like investigate it, it's only gonna give away like certain cues. And you were right about like the spaces and everything. But it's like literally not until you get in there and you try to go. And I'm the person who often will do that and break stuff, and it just didn't happen this time. Okay, we're gonna move on because I feel like I'm just gonna make Maria really mad this whole episode. Okay, so we wanted to talk about tips from our job. Here's a tip that I have for you.
Don't make me mad. Don't frustrate me.
Don't make Maria mad.
Oh my god.
Okay. Okay. So. Okay. Well, I guess we should talk about what we do first.
Oh. Okay. Well, I think mine is simpler. In nature.
Yep.
I guess I'm an accountant. Like I don't do. Here's the thing though. I say that, but the next question is, oh, can you do my taxes?
Which is something I'll never ask you.
And also, I don't do taxes. I'm not a tax accountant. So what I do is I'm an auditor. So I look stuff. Yeah. So I look at like financial statements and do the test work and like consulting work for other clients. So I don't know how to do anyone's taxes unless it's just like a W-2, and I could just put it into a software. Yeah. Okay, solid. So that's what I do, and it's busy season right now, so I'm clocking so many hours. I'm so tired. But otherwise, like every other month, besides like from January to like mid-April, like it's just a standard 9 to 5.
And what does auditing look like in like? Because I know nothing except about. Wait, do you want to give me? Can I give you my one actual reference that I actually have of what auditors do? And it's not a real life reference at all, but it's hysterical.
Go on.
Have you ever seen the movie? Oh my gosh, I don't remember the name of the movie.
Catch Me If You Can. I don't know why that came into my mind.
No, it's not a movie that is relevant to really at all. It's a I don't remember what it's called. Go with me on this. It has Paul Rudd in it.
Okay.
It also has
Google this.
The guy from why is this happening right now?
Paul Rudd.
What is going? Okay. It has, and I love him, and I can't think of his name, and I'm really mad at myself right now. He's Michael from The Office.
Oh my god. Steve Carell or whatever.
Yes. Okay. Paul Rudd and Steve Carell are in it.
Movie.
And so is Zach Galifianakis.
Anchorman. I swear to God.
That one. What's the last one? The invited whatever party, something party.
Dinner
for schmucks. No.
Yeah,
that one. Okay, he's in that movie.
Okay.
And Zach Galifianakis is the auditor in that movie.
Okay.
Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
What?
Let's just assume I've never seen the movie.
Okay. This is like where we're going back to the what type of movie we like to watch. Like this is a movie I love Steve Carell for just his blatant like ridiculousness.
His comedy,
yeah. Like I absolutely. That's the kind of like stupid slapstick comedy that I really enjoy. And in this movie,
what kind of auditor is he? Is he an IRS auditor?
You're asking me questions now. I don't know.
Yeah, it says who's Barry.
He is. Zach Galifianakis is the auditor. No.
Barry offers to take Tim to his job at the IRS. So he's an IRS auditor. But go on. Go.
Yes. I don't know. That's the only reference I have of like what they do, because he like goes in and like they're looking for somebody, I think.
Sure.
And they want to find out like their references, and then he's like, well, let me look into you. Let me see if you're due for an audit.
Okay. That's still a tax audit.
Okay.
That's a whole different story. So what I do is like say, like a random company. I don't know how to explain this, and watch my coworkers watch and be like, what is she saying? So like a company has like financial statements, like their like balance sheet, like their assets, liabilities, and, like their expenses and their revenue or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do is we kind of look into like the major significant, like, okay, cash, like, all right, let me look at your bank statement, make sure that this ties to like what you're saying is in your cash.
Mm-hmm. And
then all right, so this is how much profit you made, like let me go check like to make sure that you're not like lying, but like not,
you're like double checking that everything
their work essentially.
What it is.
Because what they do with the financial statements, usually these companies, is that they give it to like either investors or like their owners, management, like other clients and stuff like that, just so
to say everything's on the up and up kind of.
Right, and like if a third party does it and like we sign off as a report like, oh, these numbers are like good, like it kind of gives them credibility that what they're saying is correct, like on their financial statements. So
solid.
That's what we do. It's a lot of. Did you take accounting in high school?
Yeah, I was in your class, wasn't I? Isn't that how we ended up at FBLA together?
Oh my god, yeah. That picture. I can't believe, and also like the fact that you're in FBLA is crazy.
Why?
It's just something that I didn't. What did you do?
I'm watching my cat lose his mind right now. He's parkouring. I don't remember.
But
ironic future business leader of America. Yeah. Current business leader of America right here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, good for you then. Jesus. I can't wait to see that playback.
There's gonna be a point where Gunter's gonna come up over the couch and just look.
He's gonna knock. I'm not gonna even open this. I was gonna open this up.
No, he won't. He will knock that off.
Okay. You took accounting.
I remember doing a lot of balance sheets.
Yeah, balance sheets it's literally so accounting is super type A, like my brain works that way because it's like everything has to equal each other.
Yeah.
So
But I know all these things, like your projections. I have to do everything for my business.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So like I get. I mean.
Yeah. So if I came into your and saw your projections or whatever, and like your financial statements, and what I would do is kind of get the support for all right, you say you have cash in the bank of this much. All right, let me see your bank statement.
Gotcha.
I'm just looking at the support to make sure that you're not.
And you're doing it outside of the lines of what my tax person, my tax accountant, and my tax lawyer does for me this time of year.
Right. And for auditors, we have to be independent, so we can't go into if my parents out of the business, I can't audit them. It makes no sense.
So it has
to be an independent person.
Gotcha. Okay, so what are some
tips?
Don't
annoy your CPA friends during this time of year.
Seriously, just give them love.
Just give them space. Don't annoy us.
Accounting.
We're at least for me, I'm very short. Tempered during this time of year because I'm just
she says this after I give her a puzzle that makes her really mad.
Just give us some space or whatever we need for sure. Oh, please give your tax accountants your shit as soon as you can.
Yeah.
And the amount of like clients that we have, and I don't do personal returns. I do like business returns, which I have a little bit more knowledge in, but not honestly. Don't go to me for advice really. But the amount of times that like clients give us stuff last minute, even in the audit, in like the audits that we do, it's so frustrating. So if you go to like a sole proprietor like tax preparer and you give him or her like right before the 4/15 deadline, like all your stuff, like that's just annoying.
Yeah,
for sure.
And just rude,
honestly.
Like especially to people who are trying to help you.
Especially if you've had these documentations for like since like February when they come out. So.
And if you're somebody who like runs a business and you have employees, get them their stuff.
Oh, that too. Yeah, for sure.
That's not fun.
That's not fun because then you're going to delay their process,
right?
And then everything's going to get delayed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, now everything is delayed right now, and there's extended time on being able to do it. But don't take advantage of that just because you have it. Like, go and be proactive and get stuff done, so that people who are actually sick and actually like dealing with stuff right now can get the grace period that they need. It's not a freebie for everybody to take advantage of. It's just for the people who really need the help. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Tell us about your hobbies.
My hobbies?
So you don't talk about work anymore. Tell us about your hobbies and things you like to do. When Maria is not,
is this like, what is this episode now?
We're talking about our hobbies and tips.
Oh, really?
They're getting to know us. That's
great.
I think that's what it is.
Okay. I play video games and do this. And
for the win.
And now I just like watch movies and Netflix. That's literally my hobbies right now.
Solid.
So I play. So the new Animal Crossing game is coming out.
Oh, I saw you put that up.
Yeah.
I feel like that game has been around for a while.
So this is the first game in I want to say like 7 years or something.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I remember it being really big.
Yeah. It's super not stressful. Like you know how like Call of Duty, I guess, is stressful for some people.
I don't know how people play.
But I play like Overwatch, which is like just an open like you know what? What do you? I'm getting distracted.
I don't know why Dan sent me a picture of his hubcap, but I'm not gonna open it.
Okay. Do you know what Animal Crossing is though?
No.
Okay, so like you make a character, you move into this iteration is like an island, so you move into an island, make your character, you kind of like have resources that you can fish and like dig up fossils and like resell them for like they're called bells is the currency.
Okay.
and like you build your house, you furnish your house, and then your neighbors are animals. This is so weird how I'm describing this, but it's super stress free. Like it's just like it is what it is.
It's just like
It's mindless. Correct. A little bit of escapism because like you're building your own life on like your console, but
yeah, and it's like if it's something that's I think the beauty of like video games that. Just like TV and just like reading and just like anything else, we have the ability to really like push to those limits of like it being escapism. Is we have the ability to just like have downtime, you know, and like turn your brain off. And I know like Dan loves video games, and like I just don't. I don't know. I tried. I'm sure I would love that game. I'd honestly probably get stuck in that for hours and hours and hours. I used to love computer games.
Yeah. Like Flash games or whatever.
Yeah.
Those like mindless games.
Yeah.
Also on the tone of video games, we had a Tetris competition at work.
And that's cool.
It was great. I won. Of course I did.
Duh.
But
no one's expecting anything else.
What was I going off of that? But it's like it like breaks up my day, especially during this time of year, like at work. Just like video games like that, like because then after that, like Tetris, whatever. I've been just randomly playing Tetris in my cube whenever I needed like 5 minutes to just like chill.
Yeah, downtime.
So
it's so important.
And then what was I saying? And then I play Overwatch. Do you know what Fortnite is? Kind of.
Yeah, Dan loves that game.
Yeah, so like Overwatch is like kind of like that, where it's like you play online and you kind of.
Oh, I think I've seen commercials for it before.
It's like fictional characters, not like humans or whatever. It's like they have superpowers and stuff. So
fun.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to, but the danger is I would get I get super obsessive.
Yeah.
And like want to just
play it.
Yeah, which is how like Netflix ended up like ruining me.
Yeah.
And like helped really Netflix helped with me getting stuck in like my hard places last year because it was like I'm just gonna avoid everything.
Right. So it's well, did you binge watch like TV shows?
Yes.
And like movies and
definitely.
Whatnot? Absolutely.
Yeah, totally.
Netflix. I mean, there's a bunch of good original content on Netflix.
There is. Oh wait. Okay. So this has nothing to do with anything, but Maria told me to watch Cheer.
Oh my god! You're like the 10th person I've told like to watch Cheer.
I watched it.
And
here's my issue, and this actually is gonna really get into like kind of what I do anyway. So it's great.
So this is great segue.
In terms of exposure, I know because you had sent to me too, like it really shows you like I never thought about it this way, and like all the work and all the like the physicality and the athleticism, great. In terms of exposure, in terms of like bringing that to light, which I think just
bringing the cheering world to light.
Yeah, and like bringing the level of like athleticism that's in sports, and I'm gonna include dance in this, even though people are gonna be like, dance is not a sport, it's an art form. Whatever, you need to be an athlete to be a dancer. Just throwing it out there. An athlete and an artist. Just like in cheer, you need to be an artist too.
Because you can't be stiff and just like
there's
be very logical about this.
Performance quality that's required.
Yeah.
So I love that is being brought out. And I think that there's a lot of misunderstanding in those areas that are more technically seen as like feminine. We were literally connecting to all of our previous episodes. That like the more feminine type of sport, right? Yeah. Even though we know cheer is not, we know dance is not. There are men in both of those areas.
Yep.
And even gymnastics, there are men in all of those areas that are historically seen as feminine, or were like created originally. Honestly, dance doesn't really count because dance was like the original. Whatever, it's fine. Ballet was created by a man. For anybody who didn't know that, I just got real excited.
You just got real salty. Real quick, no one was attacking you.
Sorry, I feel like I have to get that out there. So,
literally no one was attacking you.
I love that. I want to get out of that realm, it's just that it just bothers me. So, dance was actually created by a man. So, just, like, not dance. Ballet dance was created by a man. So, I get really off track. I get real passionate about, you guys are starting to get red. I get like real passionate whenever we talk about dance stuff that I feel like people have like a solid misunderstanding of, and it gets me like all fiery.
Well, it's like with anything that you're passionate about. Like you don't want to misinform people, so you just kind of just spew everything out.
Yes. I am done. I am back. I apologize, but I don't apologize. So, I liked it for all of those aspects. And I liked the like determination in showing that if you want something, you have to work for it. Yeah. Like I feel like again, there's a misunderstanding or a misview conception, and like we do it and then it comes like immediate, like that immediate gratification of thinking that it comes and then you have it, right?
Yeah.
And I think like playing an instrument like is along the same lines in terms of performance.
Yeah, for sure.
It takes practice.
It takes a
lot
of patience.
It takes patience. It takes effort. Like all of those things. Mm-hmm. So I liked it for that.
Okay.
Here's my issue with it.
Yeah.
I don't like the management of injury.
Oh no, that was bad.
Because that is what I do in the dance world, and I'm trying to change and like with a lot of other amazing people, the culture and develop the culture of the way we handle all of that. So there were moments that like I got really, really mad watching like someone, and it's partially and like
so
not
many
to call this
injuries
person out, but I super call out like the levels of like just how things were handled by like the medical professionals.
Oh yeah.
In that
entire
show.
Like, yeah, let's just wrap you up.
Like I don't, and I understand, and coming from the dance world and knowing that you get a lot of pushback from the teachers and like the adults that are in the situation, because there is a level of expectation of being able, like, the show must go on, that's the culture. Yeah. Like, I get that.
Yeah.
But, like, so much of the time we don't look in, like, the long term, again, another episode we talked about, the long term of the negative effects we're having on these children, because even in college, they're children. These are children. And, like, the way that their bodies are being damaged over time. So, and I'm a perfect example of this because I don't know if you, it was kind of audible on our first episode of the friendship episode where you heard my hips popping.
Yeah. Literally.
Like, that's not a normal thing, and that's something that I have as a result of just a lot of overcompensation and dancing through injuries that I had and I faced and ignoring and not taking proper precautions for, or, like, just not knowing any better. Right, and not taking care of it. And the reliance on, like, medical tape to, like, keep things intact. Like, it's just, it was really, that frustrated me a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's, the more frustrating aspect of it is that coming from the artist and performer aspect, I understand that the show must go on, but at the same time, you are putting them at risk.
Yeah.
Right. And, like, for, like, hip replacements, like, concussions are you want to know what happened the other day? Okay. And then I wanted to, like, hi, I'm awake.
Okay, we got there.
I was taking a walk, because I try to go on my daily walks.
Daily walks. You're so healthy, honestly.
I'm trying. I need it.
Yeah. It's also very nice out now.
Yeah. So take advantage.
Yeah.
And, like, don't be inside around people. Go outside by yourself.
Yeah.
I was taking a walk, and there were a bunch of kids outside, and there was a bunch of kids on bikes, and a little boy had, like, come running out to, like, meet the other group, and apparently his brother was in that group, and he turned around and was like, "What are you doing? Go home and put your helmet on." Which was, like, in my head, I was like, "Oh, what a good brother." And he's like, "You know, if you fall, you can hit your head and get a concussion."
Yeah, okay.
And, like, just, like, more awareness than we had growing up about what that is.
Yeah.
So.
You're right, yeah, actually.
So, like, I was like, that's great. Now, we have more awareness of it, but that doesn't mean we necessarily take the right steps to be able to
assess all those risks and stuff.
Right, and not even, like, the assessing part, but be able to really manage it once it happens. So, like, I'm watching cheer, and you watch people falling on their heads and, like, getting concussions, and I'm going to get real into all of it for a second. So I have studied concussions specifically in dancers.
Really?
And, like, done some research with, like, professors and just colleagues at Rutgers.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of just too much just saying returning, like, we call it, like, returning to play. So, like, you get hit, we do what we have to do, and you go back into playing. And there isn't one specifically for dance, so we have to utilize the stuff that comes from, like, other sports, like football.
Okay, gotcha, okay.
And which is, like, a huge issue.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching cheer, and, like, I'm watching these people get concussions, and then a couple days later, they're really not going through a full return to play, like, protocol, which is, like, something that's nationally known about. So, like, that's why I get frustrated that, like,
the medical team isn't doing that.
Yeah. And I'm, like I said, I know they're probably getting pressure from the coach because she was on top of her stuff and knows what it takes to be a winner. But it's like, where do you find that balance? And that's a lot of what I work with in the dance field right now is how do we find the balance of, yes, you need to perform, yes, you have high demands to meet, but you also need to take care of your body because, like, and we've seen these ballerinas who have to retire at the age of 30, 40 because they literally cannot walk without a walker.
Yeah, they literally can't walk.
And we don't have enough of the science that exists in the dance world to be able to support, like, safe practices.
Yeah.
We need more of that, and too much of it exists in the athletic world. Yeah. But because people are very, like, serious about saying dance is an art form and not a sport, it's not as well done.
It's not as, I see. It's like a whole culture.
So it's like a lot of, like, this action of, like, running into walls. So
that's annoying. I didn't know that.
So yeah.
So there's cheer.
Yeah. So
Was
I
there
liked
anything
it.
else? Yeah.
But it really made me mad.
Yeah.
Because it was hard to watch. But you get really invested in it because it is like you were saying, like it's very emotional. You learn about the backgrounds of how kids are getting like. Really, it's like their lives, and saving them is giving them something to focus on and set goals on and develop into.
Huh. No, you're right. I feel I've told a lot of people to watch it because like, it was so interesting to me. I've never thought about cheerleading that way and how hard that they. I know that they work hard.
We were never exposed to that.
No, I wasn't part of.
But I mean, like not in like our our high school or like.
No, it wasn't like. That's not that. Yeah, that's not that
another level.
Right. That's like.
Really, that's the epitome of what professional cheering is because there is no professional cheering of that caliber, right?
Right.
Like competition cheer.
My best friend was like, I fucking refuse to watch that show.
Why?
She was a cheerleader. She's gonna kill me. Middle school? It wasn't high school. And she's getting injured. She was a flyer.
Oh, absolutely not.
Injured just constantly. And she's like, no, that's gonna be traumatic.
The
for you
one year that I did it in middle school that I
oh my god,
that I skewed away from dancing, I remember that they wanted me to be a flyer, and my mother was like, absolutely not.
She got dropped all the time.
Not.
She was like, I'm not watching that. I think she was like, I know like what Navarro is, but I'm not watching that. I was like, good on you, dude. Like, alright, I'm just gonna watch it.
Yeah, like it's good. It really does.
It was entertaining for me, but it gives me perspective onto what she could have possibly went through as a middle schooler. Obviously, into not that caliber as a college kid, but just like the injuries that she still sustained.
Yes.
Like to this day, you know.
Yeah, the things that we have to carry. Like that is why I got into like yoga and the somatic practice and all of the training and like the development and the body awareness that I do now is because
you get into that now? Like what you do?
Oh, okay. So,
clearly dance.
Yeah, dance related. So first and foremost, I am a private dance coach, and all the things that I talked about, I utilize just like the foundation and understanding body sciences in relations to anatomy and like kinesiology and the physiology of how like our muscles work for movement and like movement function. Yeah. And I apply all of that to specific dance techniques so that when I start with dancers as young as 7 up to 16, and when they're developing their dance technique, they're actually developing with like functional awareness, so they're not compensating to just achieve a movement. They're learning like how their body needs to do it, and they're developing from there without getting injured.
I think that's just so smart of you to like teach kids that way, as opposed to be like, here's the fucking move, do it. You know, like because not everyone's body moves.
No, literally. We don't even all have the same bones. Like, how are you going to make I say it's like the copy and paste method. And I'm a product of that, which is why I deal with all of the stuff that I deal with.
Hips, like something like that every so often, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I deal with a lot of the pain that I deal with, because I didn't have proper... This is the way that I look at it, based on like those areas of movement. And I want to also say this too. I didn't study that in college.
No. Were you a performing arts major?
So I was and this just to show you that like you can literally learn anything if you put the time into actually learning it, especially in like this day and age with all the access to books and online and like things that you have the ability to do.
Yeah, honestly.
So like yes, I'm getting a lot of like back end certifications now because I have all the information. I can breeze through all of the programs and just get them.
Good for you, honestly. Yeah.
But you don't need to do that. You don't need a piece of paper to define the experience and the education and the understanding that you have, and that's something that I've also saying for you and to remind myself, so I don't put myself in a ton of debt trying to get a PhD for information that I already know and do research on.
Seriously?
Throwing that out there. So, I don't remember where I was going with this. Okay, so I went to a performing arts conservatory. I was in Mason Grove School of the Arts, and I studied dance performance. Yeah. And I also did the Master's in Dance Education in the 5-year track, thinking I wanted to go out and teach dance and just like help kids, because I loved watching kids just express themselves and enjoy themselves, because that's why I loved it.
Right.
And then I got really badly injured my junior year, and I fractured my 5th metatarsal on my right foot. And then I started to learn about all of the other injuries I actually had. And then I started to face a lot of just pushback from people telling me that I wasn't good enough and that I wasn't caring for my body. And I had people tell me that I was lying about my injuries, all the fun stuff in the dance world. And then I amazingly found some awesome support from people who consider body awareness an important thing for dance, and a lot of medical specific professionals for like dance specialists, and got a lot of support that I needed to continue training. Even if I couldn't stand and move in class, I would take class on the floor the whole time in a boot.
Really?
Yeah, that was a lot. And then I realized, if I'm going to go out into the education, like if I have the platform I'm standing on, this little education box, I'm going to do it with dance science standing at the forefront of what I'm teaching, so that dancers can find their voice and express themselves, but do it in a safe way without experiencing all the things that I experienced.
Crazy. You're crazy.
This is like the first time you're really hearing about what I do.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh, because like I have a general, I feel like everyone around you has a general idea of what you do. Yeah. But, like the reason why you do it is something that's not.
It's really, but yeah, it's just very important to me.
Absolutely. Good. I'm proud of you. Jesus.
Thanks. And then on top of that.
That was gross on camera.
Huh?
That was gross on camera.
Yay!
I'm not gonna do that
again. I got it. She was mad at me at the beginning and I still got it. But yeah, and then on top of that, when I got injured, I started to find yoga, and I got really involved in yoga, and that helped me strengthen my body understanding and spiritually helped me get my ish together.
Yeah. I remember this. I think we talked about this before.
Yes.
When you started doing all this stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
We should have an episode on spirituality and religion and things like that too.
We've been hinting at that for
We should. We will do it. I know we will do it.
That'll be another probably 2-parter, if anything.
Yeah, for sure. And then, so through that, I really got interested in therapeutics because I don't necessarily like the exploited world of what yoga tries to tell people they should be.
What does yoga tell people?
Their social media, it's great that it's got exposure, but we don't practice yoga because of headstands and that's not
the
what
crazy
we practice.
Flexibility.
Right,
situation.
and it's the same thing in the dance world. It's crazy how those are parallel. We practice it for the understanding of our the intention is to get a connection to the higher power, right? For us to that's where that came from, right?
Yeah.
And the physical practice is only one of the 8 limbs. So
a lot.
The postures, the asanas, is what they're called. There's 8 different limbs of yogas, and that's just one of them.
Okay, so there's 8.
And all of the other ones are founded in spirituality and
meditation?
mental state, and meditation's another one.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's things called yamas and niyamas, or how we have the Bible and we have the commandments.
Yeah.
Yama and yamas and niyamas are things that we should practices that we should live by, and awarenesses that we should live by.
Interesting.
And then I don't just switch on my words. And then there are and then the end goal. There's other things in there, but the end goal is really to have a sense of enlightenment where you have that connection to
a higher power.
Yeah, and that's essentially considered you're no longer here. You have. So if
you're enlightened.
Right. Have you ever had those, or heard those people who go into meditation, or there are stories about people who go into meditation, and because they're so connected to the higher power, they don't exist within their body anymore, or they don't come out of that state.
It's an out of body experience.
Right.
Situation.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of it, but I don't.
There's so much. It's so interesting.
Okay.
There's a whole world of that.
Really.
And the physical postures is just one of the limbs of ways to practice yoga. So it just gets very exploited. So
that's interesting.
All of that spewing total side note.
So that's commercial yoga.
Yeah.
Is what that
yes, just like there's commercial dance. That's such a good way to put it.
Got it.
Got it. Yeah, so then I started to understand that I really like functional movement, so I started to apply the yoga information and anatomy into functional movement for people and started doing yoga therapeutics.
Okay.
So I work with clients for just helping them this part of my body hurts a lot. Well, let's look at the way that you move and why that happens and see how we can train you to change those muscular habits.
Interesting. Okay. So you work one-on-one with people a lot?
Yes.
You do.
I like it better.
Than a group? Group setting? Yeah.
I just feel it goes back to what you said, every single person's different and everything they're showing up with is different, and I like being able to give them one-on-one attention because I think they get more out of it, and I think that's why I didn't like being in public education and like the K-12 setting is because it's much more difficult to do that. And I don't like working for somebody because I don't like being told the way that I do like feedback and information from people.
Right.
Like I don't like disvalue that, but I want to be able to do it in a way that I think is going to be really valuable without having somebody breathing down my back about it.
Okay, yeah.
So that's why I like to do what I do this way. And I choreograph and direct for show productions. I do a lot of stuff. I really do.
You do so much, and you see so many people. I can't even understand how you do all this.
I like stupid love it so much.
That's the thing, like, but you like love it, so like there's no issue with this.
But if you ever saw me like 2 or 3 months ago, like in October, November, even like when it's like some of our Saturdays, like right before my shows, like the shows come up, when I am like teaching dance in different settings and seeing my private dance clients and seeing my private yoga clients and working on multiple shows at once, I will tell you that my life is insane and I will question everything that I do because you're just like strung out.
That's how it is during busy season for a bunch of us accountants. Like, we're spread way too thin.
Yes.
And it's just the nature of like our business. It's like that we're so crammed within these 4 months to get like so many things out that once we get out of, after April 15th, the tax deadline, it's just like it's like worth
exciting.
it.
Yeah.
It's like for the people that stay in public accounting, like busy season like sucks, but it's kind of like worth it though.
Right.
And like if we still enjoy it, then like that's why
that's why you do it.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. So
which goes into everything. Like and that was I had a huge transition for myself when I realized that like having a business and doing what you like love and what like is exciting to you is 20% of that and 80% of like actually doing it.
Actually,
and like what it looks like to actually run a business or what it looks like to actually like the
ins
and
and
ends of like the jobs that you do. Right.
There's so many nuances to like when you own a business.
I feel like that's where we don't get enough of that information. Like I feel like
front, like in school.
Right. Yeah. Right. We're told like. I remember being told a ton, like, follow your dreams, and, like, go and do what makes you happy, and, like, yes, but that doesn't mean that, like, there aren't going to be things that you have to overcome to get to your dreams. That doesn't mean that
it's not a park.
Right, That doesn't mean that, like, you don't have to do, like, this is A that makes me happy, but this is B through Z that doesn't make me happy, that I have to do anyway if I want to do A.
Yeah.
And we don't talk about that enough.
No, and I don't know why.
No, I don't know. I think I don't know.
I don't have an answer.
And I don't know either. That's what separates, and I hear about this like all the time, and like the things I constantly am taking in. That is really the only difference between the people who are successful and the people who are not successful, is because like the people who are successful will understand that whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
Like, we'll go out and do everything that has to be done, regardless of whether it makes them happy or not, because they know that the result
will be worth it.
Right, and it's just like you have to be. It was hard. That was a hard concept for me to grasp because being an art person, I'm a very process-oriented person.
Yeah,
like it's not about the product, but in like that grand scheme, like it really, if it's about that product, like it is product-oriented, and you have to just do the work you have to do to get there.
Yeah. I can see that being a struggle for you.
Yeah.
For sure.
So it's like I'm constantly fighting with myself. Okay, I didn't offer any tips.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know. What are some things you deal with in your body?
What? Say that again?
You
spoke way too fast for me for some reason.
What are things that you deal with in your body, like pains or discomforts? And I'll give you like real life.
Well, I'll tell you because I'm like at a computer. My shoulders are always like stiff. You know, it's like tension. It's like from like. Honestly, from like stress.
Yeah.
Like around here, literally around here.
Me too.
Yeah.
Same.
Especially like if you're typing on a computer, like your shoulders are somehow always up, and then it's so funny because sometimes in the middle of the day I'm like, holy shit, my shoulders are up, and then you're like, oh right, like let me just put this down, and it's like the weirdest, like most like relaxing feeling because then because I don't know, like sometimes that like my shoulders are always like hunchback or whatever, like it's crazy, but there's a lot of pain there. There's a what?
A medical, like, anatomical term that's been created for that, exactly, for, like, the world right now. It's called text neck. Text neck. Or, like, your...
Neck.
It
sounds like...
literally just be...
It sounds like... It sounded like you said text neck. Yeah, I was like, say that again?
No, text neck looks like this. Shove that all into my mouth.
Yeah.
like modern day professional posture, or like just
it just didn't sound
child who's constantly on their
phone?
Technology
I guess.
posture. But because we're always like this, and we get like this forward head action and like this slumping and like over stretching and like lack of stability in our upper back.
Yeah.
Like it's like a medical term now.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
You know what you should do while you're at work?
Take a nap.
That too.
Yeah.
Aside from that, you should like try to sit back in your chair and try to go the opposite direction.
Oh really?
Like, a couple exercises are just trying to like draw your shoulders back because your rhomboids and your upper back muscles are just. Do you ever get pain up there?
Up where?
Like up in your upper back and your neck.
Yeah. It's usually over here.
Like try to do the opposite of exactly what you're doing. So
really?
try to draw
just
your
like
shoulders back to arch your upper back and like to lift your chin.
Okay.
Just to get blood flowing there.
Interesting. Yeah, because that's the majority of my pain. Or like my lower back.
Same issue.
I don't know where. I guess like I don't know if I sleep here or whatever, but it's like literally right here.
Oh. SI joint pain.
Say that?
Is your sacral iliac joint? I get it too.
What did you just say?
Your sacrum is that like the fused bone of the 5 fused bones of your spine that sit at the bottom of your pelvis.
Bottom? Yeah.
Yeah. Your iliac is the top crest of your pelvis.
Okay.
And there's a place where they lay together.
Okay.
And it's like called your SI joint. And there's actually a lot of research out there right now that's trying to like really determine whether it moves or not.
Really?
Like, because people have claimed for the longest time that it's a joint that's like essentially like fused.
Right. So it's not really a joint.
Yeah.
Like,
there's no movement. But now with all of like the increased like sitting and then moving we're doing, and people are getting a lot of SI joint issues. They're starting to think that maybe there is some like slight movement that's happening that's causing pressure on like nerves in that area. I get it too though.
You know so much shit.
I remember when I said I know what I know, like twisting.
Yeah.
I know the body, guys. I really do.
You really like anatomy and all this shit.
I nerd out so. Can I tell you? You don't know. I spent so much time in libraries, like reading books and like.
You're such a nerd.
I love it. I can't tell you how. Oh my god, I love the body. Is so cool, and like you live inside it. Like, like it's so cool.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I know.
You're not wrong.
It sounds weird, but it's true, and you only get one. It's the only home you'll ever truly have.
Yeah.
So take care of it. Yeah, let's YOLO that.
It's
shit. Not like the stupid stuff for YOLO. YOLO taking care of your body, and taking care of your body
take care of your
does not
body.
mean sitting on the couch and watching Netflix. Even though we all have days when we need that.
That's like
But that's something we wanted to talk about today too.
What?
Like
Netflix?
How to actually care for your body and stuff.
Like health and wellness.
Yeah.
In a positive, proactive and healthy way is literally what that says.
Okay. How would you define doing that?
Not being on the couch playing video games.
What can people do today?
Really honestly, just go outside and take a walk.
Solid.
That's like honestly like the most basic thing that you can probably do for your body, or just like sit outside.
Yeah, even if you
don't even like just go get some sunlight.
You don't want to
walk. Because honestly, like for me, especially during tax season, I don't get enough sun.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's hard, especially during the winter times where it's like it gets dark really early.
Yeah.
Before daylight savings over here, that I would go into work and be like kind of light out because it's like I go in at like 10, but then when I leave it's like dark and like I'm usually feeling but then now that it's getting lighter out, like the sun definitely helped my mental state for sure.
That's
just
solid.
seeing it more and like the weather being nice, like and like warmer.
Yeah.
But even, I've honestly just like sat outside and like in my car, like.
Just to be in like a brighter area.
Just to be in a brighter area, and that definitely helps at least your mental state. You like have like, because I have a Nintendo Switch, and if you like playing video games, take out your console outside. Shit, just sit outside. Honestly, is my like tip. Just go sit outside.
I'm about it. Do you know that there are more? I love that I learned this little tidbit. You can get like more healthy benefits from just being outside and being in the grass barefoot than like. Just like if you were to take being outside to that next level, like there's healing power in your ability to like connect yourself to the earth.
Really?
That's getting like a little bit in like spiritualness, but like we come from it, so it's really not that far fetched.
No, and I feel like that sounds right. It just sounds logical to me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, like being around nature is definitely because if you think about it, like so like we're in my apartment right now, like everything in this room is like man-made, right?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing, especially because I have cats and I can't have live plants, which kills my soul because they eat them and they vomit everywhere.
That sucks.
But like when we put ourselves in these, especially technology, like there's nothing that's like a natural source in technology, and we spend all of our time around it. So like just putting yourself in a situation where you're around something natural is going to help you.
For sure, because all this blue light isn't.
Right.
It like doesn't strain your eye.
Yep. Make sure that you're getting proper amounts of sleep, which I mean, like we're literally saying this as a reminder for ourselves too, and just
because God only knows like
to help, hopefully help other people.
Yeah.
Make sure you're getting some sleep. And knowing, and I feel like it's frustrating when we say the registered amount for the general like wellness amount of doing X, Y, or Z is this, and like every single person's going to be different.
Yeah, your body's different.
Yeah, you have to take the time to have awareness and learn about yourself and see what you need and what works for you. So maybe that's just it. Find out, how many hours of sleep do you really need to be functional.
Right, 6 to 8 is just a general.
Yeah, and do you want to know what's crazy? Why do we recommend 6 to 8 when the average like length of time for your brain to go through like the sleep realm is 3? So if you get 8 hours of sleep, you're disrupting a sleep cycle.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Anybody out there who studies the brain or knows anything about neuroscience, can you explain that to me? Because I was like, maybe this is why I'm tired all the time.
Because you interrupt your natural cycle.
Yeah.
Which is why...
That's where that groggy feeling comes from.
Yeah. When your alarm goes off and you're like, fuck this shit, you're in the middle of a cycle and you just interrupted it.
Yeah. So why do we recommend 8 hours of sleep?
I don't know.
General out there question. Someone give us the answer, please. But yeah, make sure you're doing, and whatever that means for like your diet, how much water you're drinking, whatever type of exercise or movement you're doing for yourself. Like it's really personal and individual, and I think that comes back to why I do the work that I do. It's different for everybody. Whatever wellness looks like is different for everybody. But it's not different for everybody.
I'm ready.
Wash your hands.
Oh, God.
and do everything else. There's like a 6-foot rule.
Oh, like
that if you feel like you're sick or you have symptoms,
stay home if you're sick.
Yeah.
That's also a thing in the professional field that
is frowned upon.
I guess not. It's just like not talked about. Is like, all right, especially for us accountants again.
Yeah.
All right, it's busy season. We do have to crank out all these things, but like also take care of yourself.
Do you have the opportunity to work from home?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. No. The I feel like the accounting world is moving that way anyway.
Yeah.
And also,
a lot of worlds are.
Yeah. And so if you have the ability to work from home, and if you have the ability to just take a nap and like reset your body for a couple hours, like do that and take care of yourself.
Yes. What perspective? Okay, so because I have no idea what this looks like.
Yeah.
What does working from home when you're in a position like that look like? Do you have do you have to hit a daily quota of what you do? Like how?
So our office is very flexible as to like you have set clients that you work on.
A day.
And just in general, like for me example, like I have in my head like I have like, all right, let's say 10 clients I have to work on, and I have due dates that span from like next week to like 3 weeks from now.
Okay.
It's like, all right, here's your work, just get it done within the time frame that the manager like needs you to get it done, and like the client and all that stuff. So I'm kind of like independent in the sense that like, all right, I know my priorities and like I know how long each thing will take me. So like, all right, pace yourself is basically how I tell myself, like, because the season isn't a sprint, it's like it's a fucking marathon. And I tell like the younger staff too, I'm like, you can't go in like
it all at once.
You can't like like it may seem overwhelming that okay, there's 10 things on my plate, but like it'll all get done within reason, like So working from home is like, all right, I have again these 10 clients. I have to do this on this client, this on this client, and this on this client today, so I can just hit my goals for like the next few weeks.
Yeah, so you have to really manage yourself.
Yeah, it's time management for sure.
So let me ask you this question now, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why do you have to go into the office then?
You don't. Honestly, I go in because I'm more focused at the office.
Just having the space.
And a bunch of people are more focused at home. Yeah. So sometimes I don't see other people because they work better from home, and like that's respectable.
Yeah.
And I'm always in the office. Everyone knows I'm always in the office because like I have 4 monitors in the office. Like if you see my cube, forget it. Like there's monitors everywhere, and like I'm more efficient that way. And also, like, I still live at home with my sisters, so it's like...
Yeah, they're a distraction.
And also, like, my video games are there on my couch, so it's like...
That's how so, like, this is the one downfall, because I'm thinking in my head, I was like, wouldn't it be cheaper for the company to let you work from home, because then there's less overhead and not having you physically be present and having to pay for all of that?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I really, the one thing that drives me crazy about not having a physical space to go to and work, because I'm that person, I need that. Like, otherwise I am easily distracted.
Also, like, it splits here I'm working, and also here's my personal life.
Right. It's
just a switch. Yeah.
And like you said, it's a focus switch.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I really have days where I need to just, like, go to the library, or I'm not going to get anything done that I need to get done.
Yeah.
Even you need, like, to be in that space.
Even like school, like something like in college, like, alright, I'm not going to study at home because I don't want to. Like, I'm going to go straight to the library because like that. At least everyone is in the same mindset that like, alright, we're getting shit done.
Right. Which is why it's so like I tried to do like the whole like I have my whole like home office set up in there.
I mean, so do I. I have a whole setup.
But I like, first of all, I don't like sitting at like the desk.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I didn't go into doing that period, because I can't sit at a desk.
Can't.
I cannot sit at a desk.
You don't have that mentality to just like.
And like my body physically is in pain.
That too.
So.
Have you tried a standing desk?
I'm thinking that might be my next. So I
a long time. That's how at work I have.
I think it shifts.
No, it's just up. Like, but I have a stool. Yeah. If I have to sit, I have a stool. That's like higher. But
I tried doing the treadmill. Like I was doing like walking on the treadmill and doing for a while, which I liked, but like my body doesn't like the limitation in movement. Just like consistently doing it. Like it gets boring and repetitive, and it's really hard because like my computer doesn't sit right on the treadmill. So like, if it falls off, or if I can try to type it, like it's to be a little too much. Yeah. But I think I need something that does something like that, where like it's a standing option, so I can like move around.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it really does come back to like the fact that like I just get too distracted being home, and like I get too comfortable.
Yeah, because then
you don't want to do anything.
But there are days where I'm like, I need to stay home.
Yeah.
And, like I work from home, and then I'll focus, and I know like, all right,
you have to get it. You have a deadline, right?
Exactly.
Having something to be held accountable to is also always very important when it comes to work.
For sure.
So yeah. Cool.
All right.
Did we touch it? I mean, we didn't really talk about we
went everywhere.
Enough.
It started with me playing a fucking puzzle. I don't know how we got to here.
And she likes me at the end of the episode.
That's all that matters.
She's not mad at me.
In terms of coronavirus, be nice to people.
Yeah, and I feel like the biggest thing I want we should talk about too is like
I'm wearing this shirt for a reason.
I didn't see it. What was it wearing?
I can't even say phenomenally Asian.
Phenomenally Asian.
And so a portion of this shirt, and if I'll put their link down below, whatever, goes to, they focus on women. So this shirt is proceeds go to a nonprofit for Asian American women.
Wow, cool.
And I say be nice to people because I went out to grocery shopping and a woman literally stared at me because I literally had a headache the other day, and this is also me pacing myself during busy season. I had a headache and I knew I couldn't focus, so I just like went home and like took care of that. So I got Advil, Motrin, like a couple like multivitamins for my sisters. Literally, the woman just stared at me and stared at what I was holding in my hand, like at the checkout line. I was like, can I help you, ma'am? Like, let's not do that during these trying times.
Yeah. What? I don't understand. I can't understand where people come from in those moments. I really can't. Yeah. Like, it's so hard for me to wrap my head around, like, that. Like,
and, like, I say this, but it's not, it doesn't, it seems very minor when I say it like that, but, like, the way that she was just, like, judging.
Oh, yeah.
Was just so, like, you could feel it. I'm just like, I don't like this.
Yeah, that's not okay. And, like, it's, you have to work against your brain to not do that, but, like, if you're aware enough and you're doing the work you need to do to change that mindset and change that programming, then, like, you can have the better of it without it having the better of you.
Mm-hmm. So that's my 2 cents on the coronavirus.
My biggest thing about it that I think we have to talk about in terms of like the areas of like angst and concern is it's not. So like when it comes to exposure to it, I'm not worried about me because I'm very fortunate to be somebody who isn't dealing with a medical.
Right, I'm not worried about my immune system, and God forbid I do get it, but like if I do get it, like I'm not gonna freak out and be like, okay, like, my body will probably handle it better than again most people. But I feel like you're gonna say there are other people around you that are not
have compromised. So like perfect example, like my father. Ooh, okay, like I haven't talked about this, but I guess we're gonna talk about this. My dad is a type 1 diabetic, so he is genetically like dispositioned for diabetes. But on top of this, he's also recovering from, like, stage 4 colorectal cancer, stage 3 colorectal cancer, and is currently in remission. So, like 2 different areas of him being somebody who's, like, more likely to be negatively affected by getting exposure to this because he's going to have a really hard time managing and potentially recovering.
Yeah.
So when I am thinking about like, going out and who I'm around, I'm not worrying about me. I'm worrying about if I'm carrying something and who's going to get it from me, who would struggle with it. And I think that's where people, like, the buying all the toilet paper and people that are getting really anxious about it. And I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong. I understand if you're worried about you and your family.
Buying to an
but,
extent.
like, you need to, it's not about you, and that's why all of these steps are being taken about community and focusing on community, because that's what matters. If you are a healthy person who doesn't fit the descriptions for people who are likely to have to deal with
this,
then that's fine. Don't worry about it. It's also not something to joke about, even though I get we're making jokes about the toilet paper, and it is kind of funny. But you really just need to take your lens and widen it out a little bit to look beyond yourself, to know it's not about you if you're somebody who's not going to be getting it. It's who is going to be open to it if you do get it.
Correct. I agree. I mean, that's the end. That's the end of that, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I have the same sentiment. That's literally what it is.
And, like, that's it. So it's, if you're trying to figure out why people are freaking out and anxious and worried about the spread of it, we just need to control it so that people who would have to worry about it don't have to worry about it. That's our responsibility as people that are members of a global society.
Correct.
We have to care about everybody.
Yeah, and sometimes people don't. And that's the issue. So,
On that note,
cool.
Thank you for joining us for whatever this episode turned into. We talked about a lot of stuff with, I like it, just areas with a lot of different tips and mindsets and perspectives.
It was just everything. I don't know. Current events, if you will.
Yeah, you got to learn more about us. We learned more about each other.
Yeah, seriously. I guess. I learned more about you than...
No, I learned more about what you do.
Okay.
I didn't know, like, the specifics. Now I feel like if somebody talks about auditing, and, like, I'll be like, well, what type of auditing do you do? And I'll be able to actually have, like a
frame of reference of what is.
To work off of. Which is cool. Keep learning stuff. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah.
So, thank you guys for tuning in.
Thanks, as always, honestly.
Yeah.
I think so.
We'll catch y'all in the next. I was waiting for you to, like, sum it up, but it's fine.
Don't ever. No.
We'll catch you guys on the next episode of the Be More podcast. Thanks for listening.
Okay, bye.
Stay healthy, everybody.
Don't ever rely on me on that. Are you kidding me?
I was like, maybe it'll happen.
No,
I'm going to set the stage for it.
I know, I'm just going to be like, no, it's not happening.